everybody, Dizzy Crafter here with another video. Now, I recently did a video sharing how I actually created this front cover and the back cover of my sketchbook for my college, and I did say I would share with you what I actually did on the course, so that's what I'm going to do. And I've also going to show you the last project that we had to do at the very end. So if you love Alice in Wonderland, you may want to stay tuned in or skip right to the end. This is just going to be a run through my college course that I did. So as you see, you've got I've done the front cover, and then these are just the things. So the first lessons we did, we covered the different primary, secondary and tertiary colours, and we had to mix them all up. And I'm just kind of off, so I apologise for that. And I've just decorated my book using stencils and different colours, and then I've done a colour wheel, and then we did the painting techniques as well. And then we had to do reflection, and then we went on to gestural drawing and mark making. So we did some charcoals, and then we did this where we was blind, had to close our eyes and draw it and then colour it all in. And then this was my artist research I did for this unit, which I chose Tim Noble and Sue Webster, who uses lots of recycled items and lights to make their art, and I just think it's beautiful, their work. So I've got a couple of pages of them. And then my other artist research was Michelle Stitzlin. I'm probably saying that wrong. I love these. I mean, they're so vibrant, and she's used hose pipes and bottle tops and all different kinds of stuff. So this unit was all about found objects. So that's the artist we had to research. And then we did learnings about paper stretching, and then some shading techniques, and then we had to do some grid method drawing. I decided to use my binder awl, some nail tips and some pine cones. I cannot draw, so I am really pleased with how this turned out. Much better than what I thought I could actually achieve. And then we had to do some simple drawing by isolating some of the shapes. I found this a bit strange, but that's what we had to do. And then we had to paint them in. Now this is what I had to do in college, and I took a photo because we had to do it on A3, and obviously A3 would not fit in my book. And then we did a reflection on that, and then we moved on to collage, and on this collage I decided I would do a bee. Now where I did go wrong is I'd done this gorgeous beehive with all these hexagons, but then I put in this green, and I think I should have left the green out and it would have stood out more, but that was my first collage I'd ever done. And then we had to get some peer feedback and then a reflection on that. And then this is my evaluation and just some things I had to complete there, and some health and safety forms as well. And then we moved on to unit 2, which was lino printing. I did lots of different techniques on this one. So the first one we did was this lino printing, and I chose Alice in Wonderland, surprise, surprise. And then my artist research, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this, but Risley is the artist, and we had to use lots of different things with letters and stuff, and I really liked his work. And then we did the Guerrilla Girls, which was a really good impact on trying to get more women into the art kind of things. And then we did some copper sulphate etching. So this was my design to decide to do, and this was the final design I did. And then this is how it turned out. And then we got better results the wetter the paper was, which the teacher said not to do it too wet, but we was left on our own. I was like, I'm going to try it really wet, and I felt like it worked better. And again, we got some peer feedback there. Then we did some embroidery stitches. We didn't really touch much on that. It was literally all we did. And then we had to do some letterpress designs. We was given these letters and we had to make them into a design. So I chose the F's, which was I made a sleigh for a snowman, some flowers and a picket fence and a snail. And then we did some heat press printing. This was the tester, and this was it done with the fabric, and this was the actual thing we was meant to do, but unfortunately the heat press machine broke down, so we didn't actually get to transfer our last design onto some fabric, unfortunately. Then we moved on to Unit 3, which this was all about journey, and we basically had to create a project of our own using the art of journey. You could do paintings, sculptures, you could do anything you wanted as long as it related to journey. And we also had to do a artist research, and I chose Frida Kahlo. I'm probably saying that wrong as well. So that's just some of her paintings there. And then we had to come up with some project ideas. So I was thinking a junk journal, or like the cycle of life, or an Alice in Wonderland hat, and I chose to go with the Alice in Wonderland hat. So then we had to plan the project of the things we wanted to do, so that's what I did there. And then I've got to finish to fill this in at the moment. That's just like a class thing. Then we had to do mind map, and then the actual project itself. So this is all like the little photographs of each stage that I have done, and I'm going to show you the last of this when it's completed. I'll show it you properly. And that was that whole course. Now that course ran for 10 weeks. It should have been more, but they decided to cut it short for some reason. It's been very stressful at times because the amount of theory work that was involved, more than I anticipated, but hey ho. But let's get to this hat and I'll show you that. This is my hat. I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit for you. It's not going to be the easiest thing to show you, but my idea was that I had this hat and I was going to open the lid, put a doll in to represent Alice falling in the hole, and then the outside of the hat is Alice's journey. So at the top here we've got Alice's legs poking out, and then we've got the rabbit with his, well, it should be a watch but it's really a clock because I couldn't really make one. And then we've got Alice starting her journey here, and then I made like this little tiny door here. Did a little eat me and a drink me bottle, and then we've got Tweedledee, Tweedledum, and I did that music note thing that I kind of like to do because obviously they sing lots of songs. And then we've got the caterpillar, and I've just done the ooh I you on some acetate, so it looks like it's floating. And then we've got the Cheshire Cat in the tree, and that's self-explanatory. And then we've got the teapot here, which is probably the biggest main part of this and what took the longest. I painted up all these teapots and cups and stuff into the colours I wanted. I made all these little cakes out of clay. Even got some tea pouring down here as well. And then the last bit is the Queen of Hearts, and again I've got another door from when Alice comes out of the forest into the Queen's Land, and then we basically got the cards to represent the card men. I've got this maze going on in the background. We've got some white and half white and red flowers and some solid red flowers here at the bottom. And that's basically it. So I do hope you've enjoyed this little video. I mean, what I did do wrong with this whole project is I painted it with Brush-Os, and every time I touch it my hands just get manky, so I really shouldn't have done that really, but it is what it is and I can't change it now, unfortunately. But I would paint it with something different if I had. I'd have loved to have done a video tutorial showing you how I actually made this whole thing, but unfortunately it just didn't happen. It just took way too much time. It's probably took about 50 to 60 hours to actually make this from start to finish. Anyway, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'd like to say a huge thank you for watching, and I hope to catch you in the next video. Bye.